Good morning and welcome to my channel, Sunshine Shoulders. I'm Calvin. Good morning to my subscribers in the Philippines. Good evening to my subscribers in America and beyond. I always start out by giving a special welcome to my new viewers and new subscribers. Thank you so much for stopping by. I would never take that for granted. Thanks to everybody for your kindness, your generosity, your support of my channel. It's been amazing. My channel is for the new man and woman who's never been here to the Philippines, who has an interest in coming here. My 11 years doesn't make me an expert or know-it-all, but it gives me a unique perspective, and I like to share that with you to make your trip here more enjoyable and more safer. I'm boots on the ground. I'm right in the middle of all this for your benefit. I live among the locals, and I'm always going to give you the nitty-gritty. That's just exactly what I'm seeing, what I'm living, what I'm experiencing. I'm never going to sugarcoat that. It's not going to start today. Today I just want to talk about the 3 Filipino rule. This is something that I came up with over the years, and it served me well, and it's going to serve you. And it's simply this: whenever you're looking for something in a store, you're asking directions, you're searching for somebody, you're going to have to ask at least 3 people over here before you get the answer that you need. But before I start on that, I just want to address a few things in my comments. Number one, the guy asked can he fly into Cebu City? And really, sir, Cebu is an island. Okay, Cebu City is part of Cebu. You're actually going to be flying into Mactan International Airport, Mactan, Cebu, Mactan, however you pronounce it. Then you're going to have to cross over the bridge to Cebu City. But Cebu is actually the island. And I know that sounds generic to a lot of you veteran travelers over here, but remember, a lot of my viewers and subscribers are new. They've never been here before. But that's your answer to that. I just received a message that Mary Ann from Gilligan's Island died today, and man, I tell you, I'm 57, and what man my age didn't dream of her when we were younger. But condolences to her family. Also, let me look over here. I forgot. I wanted to tell you. I wanted to remind you. That's why I wrote this down, because man, I'm 57. Sometimes I forget. But remember, I was telling y'all how it's safe over here in the Philippines. It's even safer now. And I'll tell you the difference between the U.S. and the Philippines in this figure right here. Crime is down, major crime. I'm talking about murder, rape, homicide, and all of that, armed robbery, is down 45% in Metro Manila now. If it's 45% in Metro Manila, probably greater everywhere else. And of course, it's tied to the pandemic and these lockdowns, these quarantine lockdowns, and because there's less people out in the streets. And see, people over here, they follow authority. If they say, hey, stay off the street, even the bad guys stay off the street. Okay, but crime is down 45%. But yet in America, it's almost the opposite. In my little hometown of Louisville, Kentucky, man, we're approaching 200 murders. I mean, it's unbelievable. I can't believe it. The record before was like 117, and they're blaming it on the pandemic. So you see how different things are over here. Let's see, what else was I going to talk about? Yeah, a guy asked me, have I ever thought about doing some recon work over here for, foreigners before they get over here to, kind of spy on their girlfriends to get some more information? Absolutely not. First of all, look at me. I stick out like a sore thumb anyway. Can you imagine me going to somewhere in Bulacan or one of these far Bataan or some of these far places, just wandering around, asking questions? But no, that sort of stuff gets you killed over here. And I wouldn't do it, man, because the Philippines is vast, man. I couldn't make any money doing something like that. But this 3 Filipino rule is something that I made up, but I discovered it really throughout the years, but it became my Bible when I lived in Zamboanga, because they're different there, man. And when you go into, like, I mean, you can be, what really made me start practicing it, I was in KCC Mall. They got a new KCC Mall there. Beautiful place. It's big, man. It's a massive place. And I was looking for something just simple. It was a jump rope that I've got outside. And, and I asked the first person I asked, and they said, they don't know, and they pointed me on the 3rd floor is what he pointed me on. So I went up there, and then I talked to them. They said, no, that's down on the 1st floor over by the sporting goods, So that's number 2. And then number 3, I got down there, and I talked to the guy. He says, yeah, and he shows me where the jump rope is. And it's become my Bible, man. See, I'm an insurance agent. Over 1/3 of my sales have come after the first no. And see, that's the reason why it's so hard to make it in the insurance business. This is 18 years for me. I'm proud of that. Because 80% of all new insurance agents are out of the business in the first year. And that's because of that no. That initial no stops them in their tracks. It discourages them. And they say, I can't deal with this, And that's what happens over here. That's what's going to happen to you until you learn what's going on. The very first person you ask, they're never going to have the answer. Now, being fair to a lot of the workers in these department stores and places like that, the airports and places like that, they're contractual. So a lot of times the first person that you run into is going to be new. They really are not going to know. But most of the time, it's because they don't want to help you, man. It's not my department. I don't know. Then the second person you get to is usually going to give you this one. And this is the one that drives you crazy. Oh, we don't carry that, or we're out of stock. All right? So then you got to go to the third one most of the time before you're going to get your answer. And it doesn't matter if you're in a department store, if you're asking directions, if you're searching for somebody, it's usually the third Filipino who's going to give you what you're looking for. Just remember that when you come over here. Otherwise, man, you're not going to get anything accomplished. If you just go by that first no matter what it is. Oh, where's the money exchanger? Oh, I don't know. You got to ask somebody else. You're going to have to ask 3 people. So that's my tip to you, man. And I'm telling you, man, it's worth its weight in gold. Okay? I developed it, over just being so frustrated, man, And I said, well, because, over here, now remember, Filipinos, you're going to be with your Filipino girlfriend or boyfriend, and they're going to give up on that first no. See, I had to teach my wife that. Every woman I've ever been with over here, I've had to teach them that. The 3 Filipino rule, and it works to perfection, guys, okay? But that's enough of that. The other thing I want to talk about, a gentleman asked me, he sent it to me in an email, and this is an intelligent guy, real intelligent. I consider him a friend now. Well, he asked me, he said, Calvin, what's the repercussions of having a baby by a woman over there, and just as an acquaintance, And I guess he was asking me really, would he get in trouble? What type of, is it unlawful, or is it a crime or something like that? And, my reply to him was, the only repercussion, the only thing you're really going to have to consider, is the life of the young lady and the baby. You got to step up. You got to be the good guy in this situation. And I'm going to tell you something, man. There's no place on this planet, and I promise you this, and I'll argue with anybody about this, where it's easier to be a good guy than over here in the Philippines. They just make it so easy for you. Okay? And in that situation, man, it's really easy to do. Just step up, take care of your responsibility. Get the baby the CRBA, make them a U.S. citizen, a French citizen, whatever it is. Give them a future somewhere down the line. But no, the Philippine government's not going to come after you. Child support's not going to come after you. But your conscience is going to be there. And it's just something you're going to have to live with. But there's no repercussions. But let me say this, And before you get in my comments, I'm not getting into this argument, because over here there is no argument, okay? But abortion is illegal over here, all right? I mean it's illegal, and women face 2 to 6 years in prison. Even the doctor who helps the woman, or the midwife who helps the woman, faces a prison time and a fine, okay? So a lot of times when something like that happens, these young ladies, they're left dealing with these quack doctors, is what I call them, in these old, shady places, back, not even alleys, but somewhere that you wouldn't even take your dog, man. And they put their life on the line, because they've trusted the wrong person, a lot of times. Because over here, it's a big Catholic country, and they don't really, they're against contraceptives, rubbers, and stuff like that. They believe in sex and marriage and stuff like that. But Filipinos, they're so trusting, and that's what gets them in trouble a lot of times, especially with us. And look, guys, I'm not entering into that argument. I'm not trying to be political. I'm not trying to anything like that. I'm answering his question, and at the same time, I'm just letting you in on some information, so when you come over here, you can come over here with and practice what I call responsible D, okay? And if I have to tell you what that D stands for, then you're in the wrong, you're watching the wrong channel. But come over here and practice some responsible D. On my video talking about the AIDS crisis, man, I tell you to bring them rubbers. It's more than just for STD, man. I see it all the time, guys. This is boots on the ground information I'm giving you, where we come over here, because you're not going to know the girl's pregnant till you're back home. That's what happened to me. But we'll come over here, we'll have 2 glorious weeks, a month with this woman, man. Then we'll go back, and next thing you know, we get the email, we get the message, she's pregnant. You're not going to know until she gets back, see? And then a lot of guys, they're like, oh, well, it's not mine, and they'll ignore the young lady because they're 8,000 miles away now, and they know that the Philippine authorities is not going to come after them or anything like that. It's a whole community of babies over here like that. But I see it all the time. I'm not preaching. Remember, I'm always coming to you from a place of brotherhood, man, from a place of support, okay? Because we need that kind of stuff, man. And I got just the best the best comment yesterday from a guy, Nick Martin. I hope it's a man. He's a Filipino. He's an OFW. He reassured me. He said, Calvin, what you're doing, he said, is right on the money. He said, you educating and orientating the new men and women who are coming to the Philippines. They need that. He said, I'm an OFW. He said, all 11 million OFWs, before we go to the host country, they give us an orientation on what to do, what not to do, what to look out for, the red flags, the flashing red lights, okay, so we won't get in trouble. That's all I'm doing, guys. I guess he saw where, a lot of Filipinos are, they get mad at me for doing that, but they're hypocrites, guys. Because let me tell you something. Before you bring your Filipina over to your country, she has to attend what's called a CFO class. Okay? And what they do is they give her the pros and cons of marrying a foreigner and moving to his country. Mostly cons, guys. My wife said they literally try to talk them out of coming to your country. So here's the message. Filipinos are constantly being schooled about us. Constantly. Throughout the whole process, from before they meet us, when they meet us, when we get ready to come to your country, when they get to your country. But yet we come over here, we're blind as a bat. And then when somebody like me tries to just point out little stuff and say, hey, look, take a right at the corner, take a left at the sorry store over there. People want to get mad at me, but look, I'm going to continue to do what I'm doing, man. And because I know I'm helping people, I know it's needed. But as far as repercussions with getting a young lady pregnant over here, come over here with some responsible D, guys. It's hard enough over here to make it. Then you want to leave behind a young lady and a baby. something that she'll never live down. You know, they're very proud people over here. But that's enough of that. Again, I'm not preaching, man. You know, y'all grown men, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, sometimes 80s. I can't tell you nothing, but he asked me the question and I told him. Okay, so remember the 3 Filipino rule. Don't give up your search looking for an item, looking for directions, looking for somebody until you've asked at least 3 Filipinos. That's the rule. That's the Bible over here. You can take that to the bank, and you're going to have a lot more success when you get over here finding whatever it is you're trying to find. Okay? Also, practice responsible D over here, guys. Okay, these women are trusting. When you come over here, they're going to trust you. Okay? They don't believe in a whole lot of contraceptives and stuff like that, you know. But if something like that does happen, step up and be the good guy. It's easy to be a good guy over here, man. They make it easy for you, okay? And I'm going to do a whole video on the good guy. I'm just getting it together, all right? So thank you so much for stopping by. I really appreciate it, your kindness, your generosity, your support. Again, I can never repay you, man, but I'm going to keep doing these videos as long as they're useful, as long as they're helpful. You know, America's getting late before you let your head hit the pillow. Please find somebody to help. You're on one of those late grocery runs, beer runs, weed runs. You're getting off second shift, man. You see somebody in the street, buy them something to eat, buy them something to drink. Give them a couple of dollars. If you're in the Philippines, it's New Year's Eve. You know, every karaoke machine in the country is going to be rented out. I'm not going to get any sleep tonight, but that's okay. As long as you go out and help somebody. Because, hey, if you think the pandemic's done damage to your country over there, it's devastated this country over here, the economy. They're just now trying to get back to normal. So that's why it's important to help somebody. Because if I don't know anything else, I know this one thing for sure. When we help other people, we help ourselves. Take care, stay safe, stay COVID free, and I'll see you next time.